You're not shiny checking, you are catching everything.
To make sure that you are always playing your comm days the best you can, use the pimp method.
And we don't really recommend people use the name trick unless you get like a Hundo.
We actually think it's better to save your star pieces and lucky eggs for the upcoming Ultra Unlock event. Eevee Community Day Classic might feel like a rerun, but Eevee is one of the most versatile Pokemon and you definitely don't want to miss this event.
Whether you're looking for shinies, PvP IVs, or just want to play like a pro, we're going to walk you through exactly how we prepare, play, and evolve step by step.
Now let's get into it. Before the event starts, there are 3 things you definitely want to do. You need to clear your storage, you need to have search strings, and then you need to identify key Eevees that you already have.
You're going to be catching hundreds of Eevees, so you want to go in with hundreds of space. We like to have at least 1,000 space per comm day that we play. You might not be able to do that, but clean as much of your storage as possible. That's because you do not want to be transferring any of these Eevees during the event. First of all, you want to see how many you've caught, but second, you might be transferring ones that you don't actually want to. So just clean out your storage, that way you don't have to mid-event.
You want to make sure you have at least these 3 search strings saved. We like to have the Yay search string. That makes it easy to see your Hundos, your Shinies, everything that you just caught, and make sure that you can go ahead and quickly favorite those so you don't accidentally transfer it. You also want to make sure you have a Nundo search string because Nundos are super rare and you never know if you get a Nundo or even a Schnundo. Then you want to use this search string for PvP IVs. This helps you sort and find what a PvP IV will be. Then you can use a tool like PokeGenie to quickly appraise and get its exact ranking, but it'll help you find those rank 1 PvP IVs a lot faster.
You also want to identify and tag any of the key Eevees that you already have. Since Eevees are in the wild currently, this isn't like a new Pokemon, it's a super popular one that we see. You might have some really cool costumes, some shinies, or even some rank 1 PvPs that you've been holding out to get the legacy moves, or just want to evolve now that it's a little bit easier to evolve. And we'll kind of go into that a little bit later in the video too, but go ahead and have that saved in a tag. That way during the event, you can go to your like Eevee Comm Day tag. And if you have any costume shinies, or just any PvP ranks or even a Hundo that you want to evolve during the event, you can. And to save you some time, also, you might want to name the Eevee that you're going to be evolving it into. Now, this is not the name trick, and we don't really recommend people use the name trick unless you get like a Hundo. You would want to use that name trick.
You would want to use it if you get a Hundo and you really like Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, or if you like PvP, if you get rank 1 Great Leagues, then you can use the name trick to make sure that those are going to be your rank 1 for the Great League.
But outside of the name trick, whatever the Pokemon is that you want to evolve during the event, just name it that way you know what you're evolving. Because sometimes like in the middle of a comm day, you might be confused, and then what if you evolve into the wrong thing and then you're like, oh, this is a rank 1 Sylveon and I just evolved it to a rank 1, or not even the rank 1 Espeon. But yeah, you don't want to have those issues during the event.
To make sure that you are always playing your comm days the best you can, and that way you don't forget, use the pimp method. Palkia, Incense, Mega, Party Mode. If you do all of these, you'll optimize your comm day. So with Palkia, go ahead and throw in Spatial Rend. You're going to see more Pokemon. You're going to be hand catching anyway, not using a Go++. So Palkia is the one to go with if you're going to use Palkia. Incense is a typical bonus that it lasts 3 hours, which is the typical comm day duration. Throw on an Incense and get those Incense spawns. Have a Mega Pokemon evolve. You want to have one that's a level 3 Mega, but if the best you have is a level 1 or a level 2 Mega, make sure you have a Mega Pokemon evolve that shares a type with the Pokemon that you're catching. So for this, you want to use a normal type. I'm probably going to use Mega Kangaskhan, and you're probably going to use Mega Lopunny.
Yeah.
I knew it. And then you want to get in party mode if you're playing with other people, because there's a lot of benefits to being in party mode. Oftentimes they have field researches that are complete a party mode task, or you can share items with each other, or even getting more encounters just doing party mode. And there's a platinum badge too for completing a lot of party mode tasks. Now, you don't need to use all of your items for every event. We actually think it's better to save your star pieces and lucky eggs for the upcoming Ultra Unlock event.
Depending on where you're playing, you might want to drop lore modules for this event. If you're in a really popular area, hopefully you don't have to drop your own lore modules. But for this event, you definitely want to at least drop 1 Mossy and 1 Glacial lore, because you are going to need those to evolve Leafeon and Glaceon, especially if you get the shiny and you don't have that yet. So at least drop those 2 down and go back to that towards the end of the day. We also have another bonus for this event, a quarter hatch distance for eggs that are incubated during the event. I would definitely use your free incubator for this. If you have some extra GoFest eggs that you want to hatch, maybe go ahead and hatch those, but I would not be hatching eggs the entire event, just my one free incubator. Just because it's a bonus does not mean you have to fully take advantage of it. It's really up to you, but I don't really think we're gonna be hatching too much. Now, you might wanna hatch if you are working on your bottle cap Pokemon and you do have the task to hatch eggs with it as your buddy. I think Cream, you are on that right now. So you're gonna be hatching, but I think you only literally have one incubator anyway. So he's gonna be using one incubator.
I'm gonna use the free incubator, and I'm gonna make sure that I don't incubate anything before the event. I'm just gonna let the event start and throw it on to get that quarter hatch distance.
Yeah, but we're not gonna be hatching like crazy. That's one thing that I think, just because it's a bonus, a lot of people think that they have to take advantage of it, but you don't really have to. Now it is officially event time, and there's only one thing that you have to do, that is catch. Really two things, catch and have fun, but that is it. You just want to catch. That is the point of Com Day. You're not shiny checking, you are catching everything. Because when you catch things, you are not just getting XP, Stardust, but you could potentially be getting PvP IVs, Hundos, Nundos, Shinies. So get everything that you can and do not skip out on any of the Eevees that you see in the wild. And this is not where you're gonna worry about what you're actually catching. Worry about that later. We're gonna go into detail as to what Eeveelutions are actually the best for your Hundos, for your PvP ranks. The goal is to catch, and then you make those decisions at the end of the event. That's why you also wanna have your storage cleared out, because you don't wanna be looking, seeing what Hundos you have. Do that all at the end. I find it really fun to be like, oh my gosh, unless you are looking for Hundos in the wild, because like if you are playing with someone, if I get a Hundo in the wild and Cream doesn't catch it, we can go back and try to find that. But that's also why you want to catch, because if you get a Hundo in the wild, then your friends may also get Hundos in the wild too.
Eevee has 8 Eeveelutions. So if you want to level 50 all of these, that's a minimum of 2,368 XL candy needed. And XL candy is really hard to come by. So you want to make sure you do have that level 3 mega and you're catching everything, because I would like level 50 Hundos of all of these. It doesn't matter to me for their meta relevancy. I really love using the Eeveelutions, and I have several Hundos right now, but I'm hoping to get a few more during this Com Day. Eevee even has the Gigantamax, so if you want to use that, you want to level 50 that, that's even more XL candy, and then even more XL candy to unlock and level up those max moves.
While you're also catching, you do want to be doing field researches as well, because this is a good chance of getting a 3-star Eevee, and with the higher shiny odds, you could get a really good 3-star shiny Eevee. Could even get a Hundo or a Shundo, but you can also get the backgrounds for these, so that's really cool. I think the Delightful Days background is very nice. I think getting a shiny Eevee with that would be really cool. Now you do want to look out for like complete a party task, win a 5-star raid, and then there's trade a Pokemon. Yeah, those kind of more difficult ones are usually the ones with the backgrounds. The easier ones, like catch 3 Eevees for an encounter, that's not going to have the background, but you don't want to skip out on those either, but do the field researches. And that's why we don't usually play with the Go++ for Com Day, because hand catching is the best way to actually guarantee the catches. We like to use Great Balls, Ultra Balls during Com Days to catch them, and then we hand spin, because that's how we can actually get the field researches we want. Because if our Go++ is going, we might get all 3 field researches with the Pokeballs, and then we're missing out on the ones that have the actual encounters.
And whenever you play Pokemon Go, you always want to move. So if you're running an instance, you're getting to more field researches from the Pokespots, you need to move. So if you can get out, you can walk, you're getting to new areas, catching more Pokemon, but moving is going to give you the best experience. Now there are times, maybe you're working, maybe you're at home, and you can't move. There are situations like that you could just run Palkia, throw some lures down, you can catch static, but you have the best results if you're able to move around and go throughout your city. And you don't have to worry about evolutions during the event. Now, if you have some that you've already saved and they're ones that evolve off of lure modules and someone else has dropped like a Mossy or Glacial lure, you can go ahead and do those evolutions. But with this Com Day, we have until July 12th to do those evolutions. So don't worry about those right now. Just catch, get as many Eevees as you can. Then you can work on those up until July 12th to get the Eeveelutions.
All right, and once the event has officially ended, go ahead and do something fun. This obviously makes every Com Day so much better. Get ice cream, coffee, grab dinner, do whatever you want, but try to do something fun afterwards. Reward yourself for the grind that you have just done, because this is when the second grind starts, when you have to start cleaning out your storage again and making decisions about what Eevee you're going to be evolving. So when you're having your ice cream, go through the search strings that you saved earlier, favorite everything in your Yay search string, favorite everything in your Hundo, and then favorite everything in your PvP, then do Eevee and age 0, and then transfer all. It's not gonna transfer any of your shinies or any of your favorited Pokemon. That way you can prepare for the next day, because Eevee Com Day is a 2-day event, so you're gonna have to do this all over again the next day. Once you have done that, it is now time to focus on your shinies, Hundos, and PvP Pokemon and deciding what Eeveelutions you want to evolve them into.
Now it's time to evolve your Eevees into their Eeveelutions. And you want to do this before July 12th because we have the reduced requirement for Umbreon, Espeon, and Sylveon. And if you do your evolutions, you're going to get their legacy moves. So you can see right here that you have each legacy move for each Pokemon. Evolving during this time frame will allow you to get this special move. If you are evolving into Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, those are random. So unless you use the name trick where you go ahead and name your Eevee and do that evolution, it's going to be random. And we don't recommend doing the name trick unless you really have something like a Hundo or a rank 1 PvP IV. Just that way you can always keep that name trick for whenever you get the exact one that you want to do the evolution with and aren't just being subject to a random evolution. Leafeon will evolve with a Mossy Lure. Glaceon will evolve with a Glacial Lure. For Umbreon and Espeon, you can make it your buddy and walk 1 kilometer. And if it's during the day, it'll be Espeon. And if it's during the night, it'll actually be Umbreon. You'll be able to see beside Eevee exactly what the Eeveelution will be for Umbreon and Espeon, so don't evolve it if you don't see Espeon or Umbreon there, or their silhouettes if you've never had those before. And for Sylveon, you'll need to get 7 hearts with it as your buddy, and like Umbreon and Espeon, you will see it there before you do the evolution. So make sure you do that. And if you get a good PvP IV, I would keep it. Even if you don't do PvP, or if it's not ranked super high right now, that does change from time to time. So anytime I get a rank 1 PvP, I always keep it, even if it's ranked low. Use an app like PokeGenie to see how it ranks. Right here, I have a 1:15:15 Eevee. It is a rank 1 for Flareon or a rank 1 for Espeon. And then you can click the little number beside it and you can see the show PvP full chart. So you can see the other PvP IVs and it'll let you know if this is a rank 1 or rank 2 just with that number. So I like to keep those, like where you have rank 1 Flareon, it's a rank 2 Vaporeon, rank 7 Glaceon, and so forth. We see this question a lot. Which Eevee should I evolve my Eeveelution into whenever someone gets a Hundo or a Shundo? And there's a lot of great options. If you like PvP, Umbreon is a great option for the Hundo because it's a rank 1 for the Ultra League. But if you don't do PvP at all and you're not the biggest fan of Umbreon, I think Sylveon and Espeon are great options too. Sylveon is really fun to raid with. It's also great in the Master League, and it changes from time to time with how relevant it is, but I still like Sylveon. And Espeon is really fun to use against Rocket Grunts.
Yes!
It takes down some Rocket Grunts that are weak to Psychic, and I think Espeon's a super cool shiny.
Yeah, we actually did a comparison earlier today with Espeon against my Hundo Shadow Mewtwo, and you can see in this clip that Espeon just takes down the rocket faster. I don't even have to use a charge move at all, so I really like using Espeon. Another good Hundo Eeveelution is also Glaceon as well. It's a good ice type attacker. Maybe not number 1 or 2, but still also kind of fun to use. That's the thing about us is like we like using diverse parties, interesting things. So for us, we throw in our Eeveelutions into our raiding and rockets and things like that, just because they're kind of fun. So it's up to you how you want to play, but that's how we play. So that's why we really want to go hard for this calm day, get the Hundos if we can, or even trade to get Hundos after the fact and have just a really cool kind of Hundo Eevee team. Once you've done all of this, taking care of your storage, favorited your PvPs, Hundos, all things like that, you're going to do this all over again on Sunday as well. Since this is a 2-day calm day, then at the end of the event, that's when you can really focus on what you'll be evolving. I wouldn't really evolve anything until probably Sunday, or unless you see like a Mossy Lure module or a Glacial Lure module, and you want to get like that shiny out of the way. I would just wait till after the event because you never know what you're going to get on day 2.
Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and let us know in the comments which Eeveelution is your favorite and which one you think is the best shiny.
Bye everyone!
We want to give a huge thank you to our incredible Patreon supporters. Your support means everything to us and helps make content like this possible.
You're helping us take things to the next level. We couldn't do this without you.